What if the shield you spent decades building suddenly vanished? What if a weapon existed that moved faster than thought itself? Not in a straight, predictable line, but weaving through the sky like a phantom, arriving before your defenses even knew it was coming. This isn't science fiction. This is the harsh reality of hypersonic warfare. Speeds surpassing Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound, the ability to maneuver wildly in mid-flight, defying the laws of traditional ballistics. Weapons that could potentially make billion-dollar defense systems obsolete. And now, emerging from the shadows of China's most advanced military laboratories, comes a system designed to embody this terrifying potential, the Feitian-2. Touted not merely as another hypersonic missile, but as something far more significant, unstoppable. How did China achieve this leap? What mysterious blend of physics and engineering makes the Feitian-2 so uniquely powerful? And importantly, what does its existence imply for the delicate balance of power worldwide, especially across the vast Pacific? Today, we uncover the secrets of the Feitian-2. We explore its mechanisms, its mission, and the significant shockwaves it is sending through the world's militaries. The era of guaranteed defense has come to an end. The hypersonic age has begun. The Feitian-2 didn't appear fully developed at first. Its existence was hinted at, rumored within intelligence circles, and whispered about in defense journals. Then came the parades, carefully choreographed demonstrations. Its public unveiling was deliberate. It was a precisely planned act of strategic signaling. China wasn't just showcasing a new weapon, it was sending a message of deterrence, or perhaps dominance. "Look what we possess," the message read. "Look what can reach you." Unlike missiles tied to a single launcher, intelligence suggests the Feitian-2 is designed for flexibility. Ground-based transporter erector launchers, TELs, offer mobility and surprise. Modified H-6N, strategic bombers extend their reach deep into the Pacific. Future integration on advanced naval vessels, perhaps even submarines, is a distinct, unsettling possibility. This multi-platform approach makes the threat ubiquitous, harder to locate, and neutralize before launch. Chinese state media and military analysts haven't been shy. They use the term unstoppable. This isn't just propaganda bluster, it's a claim rooted in specific, terrifying capabilities designed to exploit fundamental weaknesses in current global missile defense architectures. Understanding why this claim carries weight requires diving into the brutal physics of hypersonic flight. To grasp why the Feitian-2 represents such a paradigm shift, we must first understand what makes hypersonic weapons different. Forget traditional intercontinental ballistic missiles, RCBMS. Their arc is high, predictable, and detectable early. Current defenses like the U.S. Ground-Based Midcourse Defense, GMD, are built to intercept them in space. The Feitian-2 operates on a different plane, literally and figuratively. While exact specifications are classified, analysis points strongly towards the Feitian-2 being a hypersonic glide vehicle, HGV. Launched atop a rocket booster, it separates and then glides at hypersonic speeds within the upper atmosphere. Unlike a ballistic warhead, it doesn't just fall, it flies, maneuvering aerodynamically. Some reports suggest potential for air-breathing scramjet propulsion for sustained flight, though HGV is the more mature, likely initial configuration. Mach 5 is blistering, over a mile per second. But raw speed isn't the true game changer. It's maneuverability at that speed. The Feitian-2 isn't locked onto a predictable trajectory. It can execute sharp, unpredictable course corrections mid-flight, mid-course maneuvering, and again in its final dive towards the target, terminal maneuvering. This defeats the predictive algorithms that kinetic interceptors like the SM-3 or THAAD rely on. By the time the defense calculates an intercept point, the Feitian-2 is already somewhere else. Friction at hypersonic speeds creates an envelope of superheated plasma around the vehicle. This plasma can disrupt or absorb radar signals, creating a radio blackout effect that makes continuous tracking incredibly difficult. Combine this potential low observability with high speed and maneuverability, and the effective window for detection, tracking, fire control, and successful interception shrinks to near zero for current systems. Radar horizons are limited. By the time the Feitian-2 is detected over the horizon, it might only be seconds away. This is where the Feitian-2's strategic intent becomes crystal clear. Its primary target isn't cities. It's the ultimate symbol of American global power projection, the Aircraft Carrier Strike Group, CSG. The Feitian-2 is the sharpest spearhead yet in China's long-standing anti-access area denial, a 2/AD strategy, designed to push U.S. forces far away from China's shores and, crucially, away from Taiwan. Carriers are floating fortresses protected by layered defenses, fighter screens, destroyers with advanced Aegis systems, and SM missiles. Defeating this costs trillions. The Feitian-2 offers China a potentially decisive asymmetric advantage. A single, relatively lower-cost weapon system capable of threatening the crown jewels of the U.S. Navy from vast distances. While exact figures are classified, credible estimates place the Feitian-2's range well over 1,000 kilometers, possibly reaching 1,500 to 2,000 kilometers or more when air-launched. This creates a vast no-go zone for carriers, but range is useless without accuracy. The Feitian-2 is believed to employ multi-mode terminal guidance, likely combining radar homing for all-weather capability, infrared IR for heat signature tracking, and possibly electro-optical EO imaging for final target discrimination. This allows it to track and strike a moving target like a carrier even after its high-speed maneuvering glide. China understands defenses can sometimes work. Their solution? Saturation. Imagine not one, but dozens of Feitian-2 missiles potentially launched from different platforms, land, air, sea, arriving simultaneously or in rapid waves. Even the most advanced Aegis system has limited engagement channels and interceptors. The math becomes grim. Enough inbound threats can simply overwhelm the defense, guaranteeing at least some get through. The Feitian-2 is designed to be part of that overwhelming wave. Building a weapon that survives hypersonic flight and hits its target is an engineering nightmare. The Feitian-2's existence speaks to significant, possibly breakthrough, advancements in several critical classified areas. Temperatures on the leading edges of an HGV can exceed 2,000 degrees Celsius, hotter than lava. Standard metals melt. The Feitian-2 relies on Advanced Thermal Protection Systems, TPS. Think cutting-edge ceramic matrix composites, CMCS, carbon-carbon composites, and potentially new metallic alloys. These materials must be incredibly heat-resistant, lightweight, and maintain structural integrity under extreme thermal cycling and aerodynamic stress. Their composition and manufacturing process are state secrets. Maneuvering at Mach 5+ generates immense G-forces and takes place within that disruptive plasma sheath. Designing control surfaces, fins, flaps, and actuation systems that work reliably in this hellish environment is a monumental challenge. Similarly, the guidance systems, inertial navigation updated potentially by satellite, vulnerable to jamming, or stellar navigation coupled with the terminal seekers, must function flawlessly amidst intense vibration, heat, and electromagnetic interference. Producing these components consistently and at scale requires a specialized, likely highly automated, and extremely secretive manufacturing base. Mastering the fabrication of exotic composites, ultra-precise guidance components, and reliable scramjet engines, if applicable, points to a sophisticated defense industrial ecosystem that has made hypersonics a national priority. This industrial capability is as significant as the weapon itself. The revelation of the Feitian-2's capabilities, particularly its focus on carrier groups, sent shockwaves through the Pentagon and Allied capitals. It fundamentally altered strategic calculations. Official statements express concern and highlight accelerated efforts, but internal assessments are reportedly alarmed. The U.S. has massively ramped up funding for its own hypersonic programs, HAWC, ARRW, CPS, and is pushing hard with allies like the UK and Australia, AUKUS Pillar 2, to catch up. The realization is stark. Current missile defenses are inadequate against this specific threat. Billions are now being poured into next-gen solutions. Space-based sensors for earlier tracking, hypervelocity projectile guns, and directed energy weapons, lasers. But these are years, likely decades, away from reliable deployment. China isn't alone. Russia fields its own hypersonic systems like the Avangard HGV and Kinzhal air-launched missile. While their deployment in Ukraine raises questions about reliability and effectiveness against modern defenses, they demonstrate the technology is proliferating. The Feitian-2, however, appears more specifically optimized and potentially more mature for the anti-ship role. The strategic implications for Asia-Pacific are immense. Taiwan's defense calculus becomes infinitely more complex. U.S. carrier operations near China are now fraught with unprecedented risk, potentially altering freedom of navigation patrols and crisis response timelines. Japan, South Korea, Australia, and India are all reassessing their own defense postures and investments in response to the Feitian-2 and China's broader hypersonic arsenal. Perhaps the most dangerous consequence is strategic instability. Unstoppable weapons create a use-it-or-lose-it mentality in a crisis. If a nation fears its hypersonic assets could be destroyed preemptively, the incentive to launch them first in a conflict increases dramatically. Decision-making windows shrink. The risk of rapid, uncontrollable escalation grows. The Feitian-2 isn't just a weapon, it's a catalyst for a more volatile world. The Feitian-2 is more than a missile. It is a potent symbol of China's rapid, determined ascent as a military technological superpower. It represents a tangible leap in capability achieved through focused investment and engineering prowess. Its unstoppable nature, while perhaps not absolute, exposes a critical vulnerability in the defenses of its primary adversaries. The core lesson is undeniable. The rules of warfare have changed. The era where large surface vessels, particularly aircraft carriers, could operate with relative impunity near a peer adversary's coast is ending. Hypersonic weapons like the Feitian-2 have fundamentally altered the risk calculus. Defense is now playing catch-up in a race where offense holds a significant, possibly decisive, lead. The scramble for effective counters is frantic, but solutions are distant. The Feitian-2 has ushered in a new, more dangerous chapter in global security: the hypersonic age. Adaptation isn't optional, it's a matter of survival. The Feitian-2 reveals the terrifying pace of advanced warfare. What other breakthroughs are shaping our future? Like this video if you gained crucial insights into this game-changing technology. What aspect of hypersonic weapons or China's military rise concerns you most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's analyze the implications together. To stay ahead of the curve on global security, defense tech, and the strategies reshaping our world, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Knowledge is power, especially in an age defined by speed.